The 2024 Paris Olympics are quickly approaching, and with that, we're about to see the fastest swimmers on the planet face off in a wide range of events. So in the run-up to these games, let's take a deep dive into some of the most hotly contested events before the winner's determined for real. And today, we're going to kick things off with the men's 100 free. Starting out, these are the fastest swimmers in the world this season that will be able to swim the event in Paris. That means that some swimmers, like Caleb Dressel, that won't be able to contest the event have been omitted, even if they ranked in the top 10 in the world. At the top of the ranking sits the current world record in this event, Panchon Law's 46.80 from the 2024 Doha World Championships. Pan set this world record leading off the 400 free relay. He would then go on to swim another sub 47 second swim at the Chinese Olympic trials with the 46.97. Next on that list is David Popovich with the 46.88, just 800s behind that world record setting swim. This swim from the 2024 European Championships was a major statement swim from the former world record holder in the event. After an off 2023 season, he's showing everyone that he is back and ready to race. In the third and fourth positions are the American representatives in this event, Jack Alexey and Chris Giuliano. Alexey posted a new US Open record in the prelims of the US trials with a quick 47.08. Giuliano's 47.25 is his time from the semifinals of the event. These two actually finished in the final of the event in the reverse order, with Giuliano beating out Alexey 47.38 to 47.47. At the French Olympic trials, 2023 world's bronze medalist Maxime Grousset fired off a new personal best of 47.33 to round out those top five. From here on, the event standings start to get very cramped, with Nandor Nemeth, Josh Liendo, Alessandro Moresi, Kyle Chalmers, and Andres Barna separated by just 17 hundredths of a second. Out of those five, I'd keep an eye on Kyle Chalmers. His season best of 47.63 might be deceiving. After his swim at the Australian Olympic trials, he revealed that he had been dealing with back spasms right before trials had started. This means that his season best time comes from the Australian Open in April, as he went a little slower in trials. Chalmers is the defending Olympic silver medalist and the 2023 world champion in this event. Obviously, those two 46s at the top of the rankings immediately stand out from the crowd, being the first and third fastest performances in the history of the event from the two fastest performers ever. Despite being so close in the final times, these two swam very different races. Pan has much more opening speed, with a 22.26 compared to Popovich's 22.79, but then the story reverses on the back half, as Popovich roars home in a 24.09 compared to 24.54. And expanding our split examination out to the top 5 swimmers, we see some interesting details. Pan still has the fastest opening 50 out of this entire field. Jack Alexey is the closest with his 22.44, but what stands out now is that despite Pan nearly getting run down by Popovich over the last 50, his second 50 is still faster than everyone besides the skinny legend. Another notable detail is the fact that out of these 5, Popovich has the slowest first 50 by quite a bit. A theme that has been becoming more and more common in this event is swimmers getting slower in the finals of the event. This is something that you'll hear me mention a lot, but my guess is that this is happening because the fields are getting so fast and so tight that they all create massive waves right next to each other, and in turn the whole field slows down trying to fight through them. As mentioned earlier, Alexey and Giuliano both won their fastest times at US trials in the prelims and semifinals respectively. They were both slower in the final. And in fact, take a look at our most recent world record breakers. So far, none of their 46-second swims have come out of a Worlds or Olympic individual final. In 2022, when Popovich set the world record in the event at 46.86, he did so at the European Championships, not at that year's World Championships. At 2022 Worlds, Popovich was a speedy 47.13 in the semifinals of the event, which was a major personal best at the time, but then he went a 47.58 in the finals. Pan's world record-breaking swim came from the 400 free relay, where he wasn't in a tight race with massive waves on either side of him. His time in the finals of the individual event was just a 47.53, well off of his world record. Now, to the credit of these two swimmers, while they did both swim slower in those individual finals, they also both won those races, so this clearly isn't any inability to perform. In fact, we know that these two can perform on a consistent basis, as they are the only swimmers to break 47 seconds more than once, at 3 times apiece. As I said, swimmers adding time in the finals of an individual 100 free in a Worlds or Olympic final isn't an extreme oddity, but there is one glaring exception that I need to point out. If we turn our attention to the top 10 fastest performers in this event, 7 out of those 10 swam their fastest ever swims outside of those major international finals. Cesar Cielo and Caleb Dressel are 2 of those swimmers that managed to swim their fastest ever swims in a Worlds or Olympic final, but obviously obviously neither of them will be in the field for Paris. But that third swimmer that managed to pull it off will be Kyle Chalmers. In fact, Chalmers swam that 47.08 that got him on this list twice, once at the 2019 World Championships and again at the Tokyo Olympics. While we most likely haven't seen Chalmers' true cards for this season due to his impacted trials, I think that overlooking him based on his current 47.6 isn't wise given his repeatedly proven racing ability. Chalmers won his first world title at the 2023 World Championships, turning in a time of 47.15. He was ahead of Alexis and Grousset, who both managed to use some outside smoke to grab the minor medals. And if we're going to talk about back half swimmers, you can't leave Chalmers out of that discussion. In his 2023 swim, he came roaring home in a 24.11, which is only 200 slower than Popovich's ridiculous 24.09 from this year. But in order to get that back end, he was out much slower at 23.04. The men's 100 free is a stacked field right now. We have the two fastest performers of all time already putting up 46s this year. 4 out of the top 10 fastest performers are in the mix, as well as 9 out of the top 25 performers. Who do you have winning this race in Paris? Will one of the last 2 world record holders take the gold, or will someone take it out from under them? Will it take a world record to win, or will this be another case of the field getting slower in the final? Let me know down below. And also, let me know what events you want to see previewed ahead of the Paris Olympics. These games are fast approaching, and I won't have enough time to preview every single event before then, so if you want to see something covered, make sure to let me know.